What does Shannon Sharpe, Ye, and Deshae Frost have in common?
Stop, alright? Too cute to be acting like that.
Okay.
Oh, thick ass.
Okay.
Stop playing.
Dog, this nigga need to be in jail, blood.
If you said that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you.
What he was doing with her, he would definitely be doing with men. Kanye West said, this song is called Cousin, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life. We acted out what we saw. Oh my God.
There's a new genre of content called Down Low Detectives, which are people speculating on sexualities of men that claim to be straight. The idea that there is a gay look in itself is a problem. You can't tell, because if you were supposed to, then that also limits what gay can be. Shannon Sharpe is just repugnant. We don't necessarily need to equate that with him being down low, because then the implication is gayness is criminal. These are DL accusations. You're perpetuating the very thing that harms you.
It's a foreign man in a foreign land.
DL niggas. Down low men, in other words, are men that may be gay or bi or anything but straight, that is performing heterosexuality. So this happened in the Bahamian Parliament this week. This crash out demonstrates the dangers of DL allegations. This was a seemingly routine session that took a turn when one member was suddenly accused of living a double life.
He is an object of fun, as far as I'm concerned. Comedian at work.
I will never participate in your fun, my brother. Never,
Thank you,
ever, ever. What I'm saying to you, don't talk about fun in me. No, listen to me. Just calm down, young man.
The DL subject is this man that you see right here talking. I just want to zero in on the vitriol that ensues simply from people saying that I don't engage in your type of fun. To accuse a man of being on the DL, accuse, the language is telling, because you accuse people of a crime, right? To be accused of being DL in the Caribbean is enough to jeopardize your career, enough to jeopardize your interpersonal relationships, your life. Don't date him, Atlanta. A whole profile erected in dedication to outing niggas.
Oh my God. Do you see this? If you're in Atlanta and you're dating, please make sure you go to this site and make sure someone you're dating is not on this site. This is crazy, ridiculous, dumb, stupid.
A lot of these accusations are simply that these niggas DL. Oh God. Exposed pages like this are just modern forms of bathroom walls from back in the day, before I was even thought of. These can keep people safe, especially during a time when women weren't able to openly dissent against niggas. But on the other hand, this is dangerous. Oh Besides the ethical issues of doxing and endangering people over unsubstantiated accounts, and a lot of these posts are just accusations of them being DL. Bottom Bay is wild. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even see that, but exactly. This type of violence begets violence because this is what happened in response. They made a Don't Date Her Atlanta page. The theme of DL men being the main grievance and fear-mongering associated with making onlookers wonder if they mind DL. And a lot of notable black men also have similar things happen to them in what I could only describe as the DL trials. It's time we talk about Deshae Frost. Deshae Frost, if you don't know, then great. You're probably a well-adjusted human being that touches grass. But here's a quick primer of Deshae Frost.
You look good as
I might need aspirin for this one.
I'm not gonna lie, you look good as on some real I'll you right now.
I hate you with a fucking passion, man.
I don't even know if this is catcalling. I think this is just harassment. He's in band now. Okay, so I guess unfortunately this is not TOS.
With your mom? Oh, I'm so sorry.
This gal was with her actual mom. Oh God.
Can I get your number and get some food? No? Get some food and vibe out and shit? No, you're not fuck with it? Bro, you look good as fuck. I'll fuck you right now, though.
This is really wild.
Alright, then.
I'm FaceTime my friend. She the biggest fan. She want to say hey.
I can't, bro.
We could just show her the picture, girl.
How much you just said?
She ain't even answer.
Who?
One at the with the red hair.
For her number?
Nah, you said more than that. You look so good. I'll f you right now. But that's
we
sexual
streaming,
harassment.
bro. I'm saying, bro. Like I'm saying.
Obviously, it's rage bait that he's performing because, like, there's no dude that believes that that's going to get the type of reaction that he wants to from a woman that he's actually genuinely trying to engage with. The fact that it is rage bait is actually a problem. Oh, God. Because that means that his whole content is just, I almost fell. His whole content is making women uncomfortable. Let's harass minor girls for content.
Like I'm saying though, bro. Like,
it's just a prank.
Shit, we just prank like
But you can't be pranking with people like that. That's disrespectful.
But I'm saying if she
Some
would have
people
said
don't take that shit.
then that's cool. She would have said that. I would have respected her.
Mom.
I feel that.
Oh, that's
but
your
I'm saying she
brother?
would've said
Your
that.
sister, your
Nah, I
sister.
feel that. I respect
You
that.
feel me?
But I'm saying on some real shit. Like she was saying, I feel that. On some real shit.
But bro.
Not for that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
But it's disrespectful.
Nah, I feel you, bro.
On everything, I'm gonna be real with you.
No, I feel you. Like,
Do you want us to apologize to you?
I gotta
make you feel better.
It's not even apologizing.
Listen,
It's the
I got a
simple
sister.
fact that
I got a
you're a
sister.
grown ass man.
Listen,
right?
I got a sister too, bro.
Listen,
I feel you, but I'm saying like
that's sexual harassment.
That is how I was introduced, and many people were introduced to Deshae. There's also this.
But I'm not being weird.
I don't play that.
What do you mean you don't play that?
Hey, go. Deadass. I'm deadass.
I waited an hour.
Cool, and then drive another hour. I'm not playing. Get the down.
Okay. This is literally what I
Out my place.
She disclosed to him that she had herpes. Apparently, he didn't know that. I mean, because like you just don't disclose that you have herpes to just people that you're going to meet. I assume that there was a conversation that preempted the discussion where she had to disclose the fact, or she felt compelled to disclose the fact that she had herpes. After which, on stream, he tells her that she needs to get out. He's the logical progression of a Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit whole bit is inviting women onto a podcast to berate them and kick them out. And he is the logical progression of that. He's doing streams where he either goes into person to sexually harass women. Either he asks gals to come onto his stream where he intends to grind her, or he never wanted to grind her. He found out that she had herpes and then kicked her out for content, which is in line with what he did before, where he sexually harassed the woman for content. He just wants to deny gals on screen for little boys so that little boys could play in his role fantasy. A little boy role fantasy, if he ever been rejected or something to that extent, I wish that I could tell girls no before they tell me no. That's what he is for them. You heard that his content is softcore porn for young boys too. Speaking of which, I ain't gonna lie, this right here, I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know, but like just trigger warning.
stop, all right? Too cute to be acting like that.
Okay.
Oh, thick ass. Stop playing.
Dog, this nigga need to be in jail, blood. I don't care. How is this man unbanned? If I ever hear any Twitch admin inside my DMs talking about foreign, you know you're too meated up on stream. Oh God. Foreign, your cakes. If I ever hear anybody making noise about that, I can send them this because this was on Twitch. Oh God. So Deshae branded himself basically around making content out of women. However, the potential final nail in this man's coffin isn't the misogyny, isn't any of the things that you just actually watched. It's him being accused of being DL. I know I can piss off a lot of folks them. Far too many women that find themselves in the sadism of loving us. Thank you. It is self-harm. A lot of y'all don't find homophobia in your potential partners as a deal breaker. Oh God. Not enough of y'all find misogyny against other people, other women that aren't you yet, to be a deal breaker in your potential partners. Oh God. You should have seen this shit coming like that, so Raven. I am the one. I have the divine femininity to assuage, to tame the beast them. He might do those things, but he didn't do them things with me.
There's homophobia in my reasoning because I said I don't like the fact that he's sleeping with men and sleeping with women, but portraying it as if he's a straight man only dealing with women.
This is not the take that she thinks it is. In the Caribbean, we are very tactile. When I got over to the States, I realized that Americans value space. We're not really like that. I love our warmth. I love the fact that like when I go into a restaurant or if I go into like my local convenience store, this person speaks to me like a person and it's not a chore. It's not transactional. But there's like a balance and a dance that you have to have with that. When I was in the States, I felt like really touch-starved. Men are touch-starved in general. If you have men in your life, they probably don't get positively affirming touches. In the Bahamas, it is very quotidian for us, men, to sometimes be approached. And it could be family members, it could be friends, it could be especially older women. When you're getting older, sorry if this triggers anybody. Like let's say like an auntie or like an auntie's friend saw you grow up from young and then you getting older and then they come to see you, oh, you getting so big. I know you got all them little girls around here. We're supposed to be accepting of advances from women, especially attractive women, conventionally attractive women, just by virtue of masculinity. Because if a man in the Caribbean were to deny a woman's access or touch to them, be like, hold on, they will say, you like money. Other people will chime in on that as well. And they would say it in a way that penalizes them, the man, for not accepting that touch. 2, if you admit that woman touching you is an assault, that makes you a victim. What is less masculine than being a victim? In a patriarchal society, men are supposed to be strong. What is more emasculating than being a victim? So a man that subscribes to that type of masculinity isn't going to admit victimhood, because this is the hidden misogyny in it. Then you're saying that woman has the capability of being stronger than you, of having the capacity to assault you. You can't have that if you're a misogynist. So that's a paradox. So by that logic, you have to allow the touch. You have to allow the untoward behavior, even if you don't like it. And then finally, the next point is a lot of men are touch starved. So even an untoward touch is a touch nonetheless. That's sad, but it's true. When you have this situation where she's saying she doesn't see a problem with having a problem with Deshae allegedly having sex with both men and women. Bro can't be bi. Oh God. Niggas can't be bi in this dichotomy. Niggas can't be bi in this dynamic, in this binary. You're either straight or gay.
There's homophobia in my reasoning because I said I don't like the fact that he's sleeping with men and sleeping with women, but portraying it as if he's a straight man only dealing with women. I'm not homophobic, but wrong is wrong. If you're going to, be bisexual or be gay, just be yourself.
There's a reason why niggas be in the closet. And it's difficult for us to even talk about this, simply because by virtue of you advocating for niggas being able to be in the closet, not forcibly removed from it, then that puts the crosshairs on you. This is a privilege to exist in this corporeal form, to be a big black man with a beard. I could advocate for my queer folk them, and I could advocate with an umbrella. Niggas ain't gonna have the same type of smoke that they have for folks that don't. So I could come when the Christian Council inside the square in front of the college protesting queer rights in the Bahamas, and they thinking that I dare to protest with them, and I look at these big rusty niggas, oh God, who's supposed to be at work or building a house or something by their logic, and I can look at them and I can ask them, use a man with rust, like WD-40 can't help. Gravity itself is oppressing you. Oh God. And you still find the energy, you still find the time to come out and make noise about one gay lecturer? My guy, you are out here in high water pants. Oh God. You have a white sleeve around your neck. You're supposed to be a man of God, and here you are Bible thumping in a 16-year-old they-them's face. If this was my contribution to the human condition and I were to die tomorrow, I would rather die today.
Why do you have to put other people's health at risk?
This idea that by virtue of you engaging with a man that is also engages with a man means that you are more susceptible to sexually transmitted diseases than straight niggas like me. And I can tell you this. I mean, I ain't never had no STD, right? But I can tell you this. One thing that we don't like to do is go to the fucking doctor. A lot of us be thinking like the money aspect. We're just like, man, we good. We could just like stomach through the pain and everything like that. But a lot of it is also the idea that to be sick is to be weak, and to be weak is antithetical to being masculine. This whole rhetoric about HIV panic associated with queer folk, and then allowing a nigga whose diet comprised of 25% vape, 50% Monster Energy, the rest is Taco Bell. And you letting this nigga shoot up the club, and then trying to figure out why my pH like that. Skeep burning through fucking tables. Oh God. Skeep got you looking like the Irish boy from Sinners when the garlic hit him. Oh God. But the nigga that grind another nigga in the ass. Oh God.
I'm not sleeping with him, but I'm a person that cares for others. So yeah, if I know something like this, I'm gonna say something.
She's the one who claims that Deshae Frost was involved with a FedEx gay man. Mind you, she's not involved with Deshae Frost. You got me defending Freaky Frost. Oh God. She is invested to the point where she have to come out and let niggas know and say, hey, this nigga allegedly is be grinding gay FedEx workers. That accusation in itself made it so that Deshae had to come out, bad choice of words, but Deshae had to then protect himself. He had to defend himself. I mean, he didn't have to. He then did this. He did the number one thing that you're not supposed to do. If you find yourself in a drama cycle, if any of y'all ever find yourselves in a drama cycle, I've been in some before, I go, two places that you ain't never catch me going is back and forth. Oh God.
But I'm not gonna lie, bro. That and her green colored contacts and bro. I don't give a no more, bro. I just try to be quiet, try to be nice and man, that bro. That
perfect way to deny it is sitting in the box seat of a car between you and another non.
I get the freaky or whatever the niggas can say, but y'all got me up with this gay shit. Like,
he's so bad. But bro, you know how wild it is for you to say, I get that y'all can think that I'm freaky, but gay? Oh God. Oh God. You homosocial as hell at least, cause you sandwich in between two man. The interactions you have with women is either kicking them out of your house or aggressively assaulting them and harassing them in public.
Nigga, I ain't that freaky on a nigga. You know what I'm saying? To be getting bent over and
imagine being on the stand defending your straightness. That's basically what Dog is doing. His homophobia and his misogyny was so strong that it bypassed his sense. Because by reiterating his DL allegations on his platform, which is bigger than the accusers, he augmented the accusations against him. It spawned like this genre of content, maybe it was a thing before, that are basically DL investigators. Creators and armchair detectives are like churning out videos, speculating on who might be living in the shadows or living in the closet, all for viewers. Bro would rather be a woman hater than a man lover. That's a bar.
I've been saying all these men are
Compomo.
Everybody gay. They start making straight men when they start making men around my daddy age. The 60-plus-year-olds and maybe some of the 50s, that's the last of the straight men. Anybody born after that, they on that LGBTQ element of the spectrum. Sorry. They either gay or bi. So apparently, this girl named Sierra, I can't remember her name anyway, she was telling a story. Mind you, she didn't name no names. She was telling a story about how she worked at FedEx. And one of her co-workers was gay. The co-workers always had like designer bags. So she was like, damn, you doing all this on FedEx? Like, bitch, we make this, your check probably around the same as mine, how you buying designer bags? He basically said, oh, I don't buy this, but I can't tell you who. I guess the gay boy told her who it was. It was a YouTuber. Now, mind you, she told this story and didn't name any names. Then apparently here goes Deshae Frost snitching on himself. Now, I did see the video of him going off, like, talking about he gonna sue, talking about him, just going the fuck off. You know how coming across as guilty, especially because she didn't name no name. So, like, I can believe it, though. Like I said, everybody gay, y'all gay. All these men gay, punks, sissies, queers, all of them.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this video. So I'm thinking for this next video, I want to start talking about some streamers because a lot of these streamers I feel like are DL. And I'm going to start with y'all top 3 favorites.
The idea that there is a gay look in itself is a problem. That's that phrenology type beat. You ain't too far. You ain't too far from the eugenics side. It's a very slippery slope. You can't tell because if you were supposed to, then that also limits what gay can be.
Absolute fan, like the biggest one that y'all love the most, who people always tagging me in his videos, and I just be like, who thought Kai was straight? But we're gonna talk about him. Hey, now this one should be obvious, but again, since y'all can't seem to figure it out yourself, I'm gonna help.
A lot of homophobia is misogyny. The roots of homosexuality in Greco-Roman culture was also very much related to misogyny. They hated women so bad that they began dating each other.
Hey, now this one should be obvious, but again, since y'all can't seem to figure it out yourself, I'm gonna help. Last but not least, the one and only Daryl, because I mean, again, this the one that I feel like y'all most confused. So I know some of y'all are stirred. Like, all I did was take the spoon and stir the pots. Now it's time to taste the soup. But before you taste the soup, this is what I need you to do. I need you to think about something. What do these streamers have in common when it comes to women? They all use women for clout. Like when you see these women go on these streams, half of the time they're getting embarrassed. Not even half of the time. 90% of the time, they're going to be embarrassed. Or they're going to be sexualized. It's never positive.
Dog is eating. What Dog is saying, as it pertains to like the misogyny, is like an absolute spot on analysis. All of them do make women into content, specifically humiliating women into content. And you can make the connection that that's what it's always been. Kevin Hart, Tyler Perry, Eddie Murphy, Richard, go all the way back, Richard Pryor, all of them, if you keep pulling the filigree thread, they essentially just making fun of women. That's the point. That's really where it should have ended. But trying to then make the connection that by virtue of you being a misogynist means that you DL, that's the problem.
So it's been a lot going on in the media. Kanye West, Shannon Sharpe, we're going to get into them right now. So we got to start immediately with getting into the Shannon Sharpe audio. I'm not surprised that he would do this because, listen, he's devious. But the thing is, what he was doing with her, I feel like he would definitely be doing with men.
Anything I say, you're just going to like get mad at and you're just going to hang up on me. So I feel like...
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
And keep in mind, this girl was 19, I think.
So.
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
Shannon Sharpe is just repugnant. We don't necessarily need to equate that with him being down low, because then the implication is gayness is criminal. These are DL accusations. You're perpetuating the very thing that harms you.
So Kanye West said, this song is called Cousin, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life after I told him we wouldn't look at, you know what kind of magazines. He said, perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault and I showed him those magazines when he was 6 and then we acted on what we saw. We acted out what we saw. Oh my God.
Even if you don't care about Kanye, even if you have no empathy for him, for the people that have also received the same trauma, have empathy for them to the extent where you don't make a conflatance where if this happened to you, then you also might be gay.
Not a DL whisperer, you're a monitoring spirit that's obsessed with the sexuality of men that you don't have any proximity to. Not only does a DL whisperer and their constituents repeat dangerous rhetoric that puts a lot of lives in dangerous, cis women and gay folks alike, they're also upholding a lot of homophobic rhetoric and get into the understanding of sexuality being a spectrum, being something that's extremely personal to somebody. Let's create whole blogs, PowerPoints, presentations about this person's sexuality and things that you can note towards it. They're being super friendly with their other male friends that's attractive, or they're somewhat feminine, or they show their women this type of appreciation, or they're too prim and pretty, etc. You're part of the problem upholding why DL men do exist to this day. My female friends ask me, do I think that a man is gay? I'm honestly like, I never know, you never know. And I try to stay away from that man may be gay is because bisexuality, pansexuality does exist. Somebody finding me attractive, a trans woman attractive, a feminine gay man attractive, a masculine gay man attractive does not take away from them possibly still being attracted to cis women. Does not take away from their heterosexual identity that they've known up to that point. Because things can also be explored the same way that we understand that sexuality is a spectrum and we all come to the journey of our understanding of our sexuality in our own way and time. Giving somebody that grace is something that should be granted to those people. But creating toxic and dangerous environments like DL whispering, etc., is nothing but whispers of chaos and destruction.
The question I wanted to investigate is what is behind this fascination of DL men. I've heard women express to me some of their biggest fears is finding out that their man is cheating on them. Not because he's cheating on them, but that they're cheating on them with a man. Women are, unfortunately, despite being victims of patriarchy, also they're agents of patriarchy. They enforce it. A lot of mothers, my mom, enforce patriarchy. This is the same as biphobia in the queer community when people say that they can't date bisexual people because they might cheat. Yeah, I hear that too, like more competition. The 80s did a lot of work convincing women that bi men were giving straight women HIV and AIDS when it came to the fact that they used crack needles they shared. The truth about that isn't like anything about them being gay. So like there's nothing essential to them being gay that makes it more likely that they're sexually unhealthy. But one, the stigma, like you all are saying, like the stigma has already been established that gay equals abomination and punishment Like, that's what you get for being a bottom. You get punished by STDs. But also, the true reality of medical bias, meaning like understanding STDs in black gay men, are far less a preoccupation than understanding what it looks like in white people. As black men, like, we already don't be getting checked. We also have a warranted apprehension to going to the doctor, especially like when it comes to like queerness and anything. Like, you don't want to disclose that because of rampant homophobia. But just being a black man, you don't really want to try to get into the doctor's crosshairs because Tuskegee. The discussion of medical bias against black men is a controversial one because there's a distrust that we have towards the medical system due to historical traumas like the Tuskegee experiment, where black men were experimented on under the guise of treatment. It's a nuanced discussion that I talk a lot more in depth about in my video, Who Gets to Be Crazy, where my colorful cast and I go deep into the nuanced history of black mental health. A lot of these interviews get deep and vulnerable, which is unfortunately something that I couldn't include on other platforms because it would have been demonetized. However, I do have an extended cut that has bonus footage and no ads on my streaming service, Nebula. You could get my videos ad-free, early, and extended on Nebula, as well as exclusive videos from thoughtful creators like Mew and Cat and Princess Weeks, because Nebula is home to our prestigious pieces you won't find anywhere else, like Abolish Everything, a comedy debate game show where contestants are abolitionists who bring up petty grievances to be abolished. But a panel of people dedicated to maintaining the status quo are there to thwart the abolitionist efforts by making a case against it on the spot. And I could finally let the cat out the bag because your boy Foreign is an abolitionist. And I make the motion to abolish myself. I know, it's confusing, but it'll all make sense once you watch my episode. Nebula is filled with exclusive shows just like these that won't work on other platforms. And you could gain access to Nebula for as low as $6 a month or $60 per year. But with my code, nebula.tv/4onfridays, you get a 40% discount, thus bringing it down to $36 a year. You can also get Nebula for life for $300, which goes directly to creators making bigger and better projects that you would have a hand in supporting. You can also give the gift that keeps on giving with Nebula gift cards. But most of all, you get to help us make the work that you love and elevating it into prestigious pieces of art. So if you want to support the future filmmakers, documentarians, and storytellers of society, then sign up for Nebula using my code, nebula.tv/4onfridays.